sports. And we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's all up next.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Evan McPherson has this one teed up. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly, you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
And Mahomes going to put it up right away. And his first pass is incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. A quick throw caught by Rice. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
Mahomes going to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. Back deep is Charlie Jones. It's taken to the 26. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it. And sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Moss, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
On second down, it's Moss again. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They will throw on first down with Burrow. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Orlando Brown, the former Raven, the guilty party. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Burrow will throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. They'll go up the middle here with Moss. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on third down.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15. Now Burrow. And that is incomplete. We got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. So on 4th down, on is Brad Robbins to punt for the Bengals. Waiting on it will be Richie James. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out there, a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block if you're an offensive lineman. Nice early burst. Nice gain, too.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Pacheco. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw is Mahomes. A dump down to McKinnon. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 8. Here's Mahomes to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That one a first down pickup of 8.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. From midfield, here's Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 8. Now Mahomes. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Open man right side is Rice. And out of bounds right around the 20. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Rashee Rice. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Now Burrow on 1st down. Now a short one to Gesicki. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and a couple. They'll give this to Moss running right. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 55 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to Moss. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now it's Burrow. Throw left side, complete to Moss. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3. As they've got it as we resume action. They'll send one of those 2 tight ends in motion. On 2nd down, here's a run with Moss. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Third and 2, now Burrow. Touchdown, Bengals! Joe Burrow spotting T. Higgins for the touchdown there. And the Bengals are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
Evan McPherson now for the PAT. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was T. Higgins who capped the drive with the touchdown reception. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10. That'll be caught by Rice. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Throwing the out route here, and it's complete to Kelsey. And Kelsey's going to have a Chiefs first down as he'll get this up to midfield. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That ball caught. It's Rice. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And again, it's Mahomes. With no hesitations, they go right back to Kelsey. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, this can happen when you get man coverage on a tight end. This is a nice route. He's just going to run a corner to the left side and find some open space. That's asking a lot to make a linebacker run with him, and this ball's on the money as they pick up a first down.
They'll run here with Pacheco. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. A terrible spot for a holding call as he'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Mahomes now to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Mahomes throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. To throw, it's Mahomes. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Zach Moss heading out to lead this offense. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Burrow's throw here taken in by Gesicki. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Burrow on play action. Now a short one to Gesicki, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, the timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. They'll have good field position at midfield following the turnover as they start with a first down here. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That one caught by Rice. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now a 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And Brown's got it for a Chiefs touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs go up by 2 touchdowns.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Butker now to add the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's Hollywood Marquise Brown who finishes it off with the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Zach Moss heading out to lead this offense. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield and get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here's a 2nd and 5. Burrow looking to pass. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And Burrow's saying, let's go, let's go. They go play action here on first down. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Now an open man, that's the tight end Gesicki. It's complete, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16, and another first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. First down, here's Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. To the air again, Burrow. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Chiefs going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with a 21-7 lead already in their hip pocket, probably not a time to get too creative or inventive here. We'll see. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. McPherson's kick is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the fourth quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. We were treated to an excellent first half from the gunslinger, Patrick Mahomes. He threw a first-quarter touchdown pass, then 2 more in the second quarter, a 3-touchdown half. And he may just be getting started.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Well, the Bengal offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Open man is Higgins, and he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter. and the entire fourth remaining, so stranger things have happened.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. And that one complete once again to Higgins. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up second down. A give running right, Moss. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now it's Burrow. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now a 2nd and 2. Burrow will throw. Now a short one to Gesicki. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They'll run on first down with Moss. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2 yards to go, second down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That'll be caught over the middle by Moss. And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
That's going to be caught. Touchdown. T. Higgins. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Bengals are back within a score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And Burrow's going to look to throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They're rocking and rolling, but the scoreboard doesn't show a big difference. You know, maybe it's one of those games where coaches say you can't miss your turn on offense.
I like the way you phrased it, especially with that. I love that rocking and rolling because the explosions on offense are happening. So that's going to keep the crowd going. They're loving that. But defensively, they just can't get it together to get the stops they've needed in order to help increase their margin. They've got to find a way, but you're not counting on it. It's exactly what you said. Can't miss your turn, can't miss your opportunity.
Yeah, they're going for another opportunity now. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Mahomes now to throw. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Now 2nd and 3. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. That's caught left side by Hardman. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage. 17 on the play.
I tell you what, if this is any quarterback other than Patrick Mahomes, I'm telling you how this is an ill-advised throw. But 15 is so good on the move with all those different arm angles and releases that all I'm saying now is that's a gorgeous play.
Mahomes now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I would describe the way that he's played today as mature. He's already moved on mentally from that incompletion, and he's more than ready to throw his next pass downfield.
2nd and 10. Toss right side to Pacheco. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Now Mahomes. Open man right side is Rice. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
That is caught. And he is going to have the Chiefs first down. Good work there on 4th and 1. They get 7 to move the chains. They only needed that 1 yard going for it on 4th. I got to be honest. I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the first down, but they decided to keep the ball in the hands of the guy who could throw it, and it paid off.
Yeah, that decision paid off indeed. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field, and it took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Over the middle here to Brown. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on third down. They go play action. Now Mahomes. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Chiefs are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the third quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the first and goal.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's second and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They get only a yard there. Now it's third and goal. Pacheco will take this one in. It's a Chiefs touchdown. So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on third down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Butker on for the PAT. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. The Bengals drive about to get going. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
And he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Burrow. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And it's Chiefs football 1st and 10.
And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go.
Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On play action, it's Mahomes.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. On the return is Jones. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10.
Right at the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Now a short one to Gesicki.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You've got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Here's Burrow.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 3rd down, Burrow.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So now 1st and 10 in Chief territory at the 44-yard. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you down play.
2nd down and a yard.
Now it's Burrow.
He'll swing this out to Moss. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 22-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
I have to tell you, Brandon, I feel like a coach right now because I'm wondering why the angle route continues to be so effective when, as an inside linebacker, you're always taught, don't let someone cross your face. If they want to go outside, it's okay. But they make that outside fake, cut back inside, often to great success.
And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. Touchdown, Bengals. It's T. Higgins with a touchdown pass from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Chiefs offense set to go. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
It's complete to Brown, right side. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Now here's Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on 1st down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if he picked up the first down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down because in college football, the clock stops with every first down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Pacheco gets it up the gut.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. That is caught by Rice. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Chiefs are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. T. Higgins leading the Cincinnati receiving corps out for this upcoming series.
So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. Now Burrow on 1st down.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Burrow will throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
Gotta avoid the flags defensively. Here's 4th and long.
They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. It got his man complete.
And he is going to have the Bengals 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as it turns out to be a big gainer there on 4th down.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. Burrow. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So a minute and change to go, and this is going to be an onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
KC's offense ready to take over.
And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
A handoff now for Pacheco.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Playmaker, step up right now. Stay loose. Stay loose. That's what it is. Do it with you.
Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they will take a knee here. Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead, that home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.